Hi, you want to see how Ampersand actually works in a real application? Well, today I'll walk you through Amper-Reach. It's a working Salesforce integration that demonstrates webhooks, backfilling, bidirectional sync, and field mapping all using Ampersand. Okay, let's dive into the code. This is our provider. We're going to be connecting with Salesforce today. And then we have three actions: read, subscribe, and write. For the read action, we're connecting to two objects: lead from Salesforce and account. Let's take a look how we configure the lead object. For the lead object, we're going to send the data to a lead webhook destination. For this case, we're not scheduling it, and I'll show you why later. Here are all the required fields the user will be prompted whenever installing this integration inside Amper-Reach. Here are the optional fields we'll be mapping to in Salesforce. In our case, those are the fields Amper-Reach will generate. And then lastly, this is our backfill configuration, which means every time the app is installed by someone, we're going to backfill all the data from 7 days ago. Now, for the account object, we have a different destination just for the demo's sake. This data is scheduled to be read every hour, and those are the required fields the user will also be prompted when installing the integration. So in this case, whenever a lead is created, we'll send the data to the lead real-time webhook destination. We're using the inherit fields and mapping flag. This will basically use all the definitions we did above in the read action, so we don't need to define them here as again. Action will be writing back to the lead object in Salesforce. In this case, we're also inheriting the mapping. Now, let me show you how you deploy this amp file to Ampersand using our CLI tool. So it's really quick. I'll do amp deploy. In my case, my amp file is inside Ampersand folder, and I'll pass my project ID. So the integration is here, but nobody installed it yet. So let's go to Amper-Reach, and I can show you how that would look like for the end user inside the app. As I said, Amper-Reach is a demo app that will showcase Ampersand connection with Salesforce and Amper-Reach. Every time a user logs in, he'll be prompted to connect with Salesforce if he hasn't done it yet. In this case, he should enter his Salesforce domain. Next, he'll be prompted all the actions and objects we defined in the amp file definition. So as you note, those are all the required fields we defined in the amp file. And those are the mapping fields. In this case, we need to ask the user which fields in Salesforce those will be mapped to. In our case, they have the same name. Cool. This is the account, and this is the write action. So let me click install, and now my integration has been installed. As you saw, right after installing it, we have the backfill actions. So this is triggering Salesforce backfilling to my app via the webhooks. Now, let me just show you how we implemented the Ampersand React component. So in the Amper-Reach case, we're using the install integration component. So we're basically passing the integration name. What is the customer reference, the user? What's the customer name? What is the group reference, group name? And then we have events that will handle the installation success, update success, and in case it's uninstalled. Really quick, less than 10 lines, you have your integration component set up. Now let's go back to Amper-Reach and see the data coming through. Now, right after the app is first installed, you see that Ampersand will backfill that user Salesforce data into the app. So those are all the leads we're able to pull from Salesforce. For every lead, we're using the write action to generate a customized AI email, subject and body, and then writing it back to Salesforce. Now let's see how it looks like in Salesforce. Now this is inside the user's Salesforce instance. Those are the fields we are writing back. We're basically customizing the email for each of the leads. I also created this little action menu here that will then populate the email content, and then you'll be able to send it to that user. Back to Ampersand dashboard, really important to mention that every operation and action that happens using Ampersand, you'll be able to see those actions in a more detailed way and able to see all the logs for the operations. So also in case something goes wrong, you'll be able to see why this is happening. Now back to Salesforce. Let's test the subscribe action, which should be triggered every time a lead is created. So let's create a lead. First, I'll enter my lead title and the source, and I'll hit save. Well, that should then trigger our subscribe action in Ampersand, and then that will then make Amper-Reach receives it, generate the AI emails, and save it back to Salesforce once more. Let's see how Amper-Reach receives the subscribe event. Now back in Amper-Reach, you'll see that the new lead is created. It just received the webhook event. It's now processing the email, and then very shortly we'll write it back to Salesforce. Yeah, the email was completed. Let's go back to Salesforce and see how it looks like. So inside the lead, you can see the email was successfully generated. And then the user can basically click here and then send the email straight from Salesforce. Well, that's it for today. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, please contact our support or join our Discord server. See you guys later.